You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
This is episode 142 of Retired Racehorse Radio on the Horse Radio Network, part of Equine Network, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products, Cashel Company, and Ride TV. Retired Racehorse Radio is your guide to the adoption, care, and training of the retired racehorse, brought to you in cooperation with the Retired Racehorse Project and New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program.
Today, we learn about the Secretariat Center and their mission from Equine Program Director and Trainer Caroline Tatum. With all the new adoptions happening this month, we chat with Amanda Tucker from New Vocations on some top tips to help your horse settle into new spaces. And we wrap by tempting you by bringing you a new horse to bring under your tree this holiday season by introducing our adoptable horse of the week. Stay tuned.
And they're off on Retired Racehorse Radio, the podcast that is your guide to the adoption, care, and training of the retired racehorse.
This is Joy Orr in Detroit, Michigan.
And this is Kristen Kovach-Bentley in Jamestown, New York, and you're listening to Retired Racehorse Radio.
Well, Kristen, it's Christmas Day, my favorite day of all time.
Is it?
Yes, I love Christmas.
I have gotten, I don't want to say Scroogey. I've just gotten, less sentimental about it now that I am an old person. So, but it's all good.
I'm Scroogey the rest of the year, and this is the
you
one
have to make up for it. Well, Merry Christmas, listeners. If you are listening to us on Christmas Day, thank you very much for inviting us into your home and your heart. We are hooligans, and you should not have done that.
We're here for your holiday hangovers.
Right. Yeah, we're just here for that sort of weird nether time from the 25th through the 1st, where no one knows what's going on.
Time's not real, and we're just in a simulation. Yeah,
that's kind of what my life feels like every winter. So maybe that's the problem. I'm just it's just another winter day. It's snowing again. It's fine. Whatever. Every day is the same.
It's all about perspective.
This makes it sound like I'm having a crisis. I'm not having a crisis, y'all. It's fine.
I just love to hibernate. I have full excuses not to leave my house. It's cold. It's dark. It's wet. It's just not it. So I'm sorry, everyone. I have to stay home and be cozy. I have to enjoy my mortgage. It's my favorite season because I am a hermit. And this is the season where hermits thrive.
You like the Scandinavian staying cozy thing.
Yes, I will eat my breakfast by candlelight.
Oh, that's a whole other level. I like that. Good for you.
Yes.
You know what the season's really good for is staying home and doing a lot of knitting. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, you have to because you have a business now.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. When did we talk about this last? A year ago? I was you know what I want to do?
I know our little, resolutions. We haven't
recap
of our resolutions.
Okay, so it's this is our last episode of 2024, so I can actually officially talk about this. I did the thing, you guys. I started the little small. I keep demeaning it by being my little business, but it's a side hustle, so it's.
Are you in the black
it's a little
yet?
Business. I am. I have earned $1.63.
Success! You've made it.
I did it. And actually, my expenses for this year, I have one more New York State tax payment, which by the time this episode comes out, I'll have already made that tax payment. And then I'm hoping that the weekend that we are recording, I have a 2-day craft show this weekend, and it's the biggest one I've ever done. So I'm hoping that I come home with no inventory at all, and then I can officially be I made $5, or whatever. It's been fun
for you.
I mean, mostly it's just a way to find a tax reason to keep buying more yarn, which is a fun thing I like to do because buying yarn is different from knitting. They're two different hobbies. And also running a business is a whole separate hobby because that's been a lot of fun. And the stakes are low. So it's been a good way to get my feet wet before I do something super crazy. And launch off some giant business. So I highly recommend this to anybody who's, ever thought about it. Start with something kind of small on the side where the stakes are low and you'll learn a lot. And then you can kind of scale up from there. So it's been fun.
Well, obviously you have to share what your business is.
It's called Treehouse Handcrafts, and it's a lot of my knits. I'm intending to someday produce and sell some patterns. So if you are a knitter, first of all, hit me up because I need some test knitters, but then also you can shop there for patterns eventually. And I also do some work with basketry. So
I
Just
honestly
things to
love
keep
the
my
basket.
hands busy. I know that I need to get back to the baskets. This is just like it's snowy out, so I want to keep knitting scarves, and the scarves are popular. So, but
Yeah.
once we start to warm up again and the days start getting longer, I'll be back into baskets. So don't worry, basket people. I got
I
you.
love it. Oh my gosh. Like I'm looking at your Standy bolster mittens. They're super cute.
Oh, they're on sale. I've had those for so long. They get picked up at like every market I go to. People are like, these are so cute. And then they put them back down and they don't buy them. So
I don't know why, because they're really cute.
I like, if I can say so myself, because I made them, like they're very cute. I don't know why nobody will buy them, but hopefully by the time if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm gonna go buy them, hopefully they're already sold. So we'll see.
Might be me. Might be me. Yeah, so
Yeah.
no.
Treehousehandcrafts.com. Just doing a little free marketing for myself. Go
I
ahead and check
love
it out.
that. I know it's like this time of year, like the horses do get to wind down and get their break. So we get to invest in ourselves a little bit more, which is nice.
Yeah. How about you? What are you up to?
Yeah, well, my horse is also retired. If you follow me on social, that came out a couple weeks ago. And honestly, I feel so at peace with that decision to just let her be. She is adjusting to the concept and we're just kind of seeing how it goes. But I feel like it is going to allow her to have the space to be a horse and just celebrate her. So this has opened up my calendar a ton because all I do is groom her and feed her cookies right now. And I've been working on my own business actually, which has been fun. I had my first engagement under it, which is very exciting. So I haven't done the numbers yet, but I think I'm breaking even, which is nice. So I
Nice.
started a consulting business. My goal is to help people find hone their voice and find their potential and enjoy their careers and build their networks. Which feels very strategic and not nearly as fun and creative as yours. But I'm working
But also
on my
sounds like there's a lot more potential for growth with yours. I can only knit so many scarves in a day, so
well,
you
we'll
really
see.
set
We'll
yourself up for
see.
success.
But I am putting my first online course together. I'm very excited. I will actually put it in our HR and auditors. We have like a little business subgroup, so they'll get the first preview of it. But I'm working on official title to come, but the concept is how do you convince people that you're someone they need when looking for a job? So whether you're getting ready to interview season, or you're trying to make a new impact in your current position, how do you create yourself in a position that they need you and you don't worry about them liking you? So very excited to do my first online course for people to buy. So that'll be something for January and that I'm working on now.
We're doing it. We're doing our resolutions. I'm so proud of us.
Yes. And a little homage to my horse. The business is called Thorough Logic Consulting.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Oh, so good.
Yes. So
Well, this is our December
fun thing.
25th episode, so we better start thinking about what we're going to do now. Our next episode, we got to be ready to roll out some new
I think my goal
resolutions
is to
because
not
look
be
what we did.
bankrupt, but
There you
listen
go.
to January 10th and I'll tell you if I've confirmed.
Yeah, we got a couple weeks to think about it. So yeah, we'll have to roll out some new resolutions because now we have all these listeners to keep us accountable. So
Yes, we put it into the universe, so things have to happen. But also for listeners,
listen, that works though, because look, we did it.
We
that
did
actually
it.
works, people. All right.
I also knocked off one other very important thing, Kristen, before we dive into the episode, because listeners have been on this journey. I got married.
Whoop, whoop.
I know. It's Casey. I married the pie guy. I'm now Mrs. Pie Guy.
We should definitely call you Mrs. Pie Guy.
Mrs.
What
Pie
about
Guy.
like Pie Gal? No, I don't like that. Never mind. Mrs. Pie Guy is better.
Mrs. Pie Guy.
I was a bridesmaid in spirit. I nominated myself.
We've upset family by not inviting them to our elopement, and we did the thing, and we're very proud.
I love an elopement, so yeah. I'm a big fan.
Yes, so pictures to come. You guys will see it online. But yes, very excited that Zach is now officially a horse husband. He has graduated.
Yes, I'm going to call him Mr. Joy.
Oh my gosh, he'd love it.
He probably would. I think I've actually done that before, and he was like, "Okay." So
yes, he doesn't mind. So yeah, he's official, and now I guess the next steps are us figuring out who gets the horse, like the next horse, because technically I still have one, but now that I'm not having a riding horse, it has changed the scope of how we share things. So that'll be our first marital tiff. It's going to be fun.
Well, you have to live record that for listeners, so that'll be great.
Yes. But before we go into all of my crazy things, 'cause listen, that's not why they're here. They're here for a good show. We have lots of fun packed things. We have a very heartfelt story in our Track to Triumph. We hear about Secretariat Center, and of course, we have adoptable horses. And I sneak preview, she's super, super cute for all you mare lovers out there. And if anyone's not a mare lover, who knows, maybe this will change your mind. Before we go there, hear from our premier sponsor, Kentucky Performance Products.
Frequently asked questions brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. My older gelding is having trouble holding his weight, and I'm afraid to feed him any more senior feed. He gets all the hay he wants. What do you recommend? Many older horses are eventually unable to maintain acceptable body condition on a typical diet of hay and grain alone. When you want to add calories without the risk of digestive upset, we recommend EquiJewel Rice Bran. It is an excellent source of easy-to-digest calories for older horses. The fat in EquiJewel is a concentrated energy source. It will increase calorie consumption and improve body condition without risking grain overload. Start your older horse on a 1/4 pound per day and work up to 1 or 2 pounds per day over a few weeks. Remember, small meals fed 3 to 4 times per day will help your older horse better utilize the feed. You can learn more about EquiJewel at kppusa.com. Got questions about your feeding program? We can help. Email Karen at questions@kppusa.com or call us at 859-873-2974.
Well, Merry Christmas again, everybody, and soon to be Happy New Year. We are joined today by Caroline Tatum from Secretariat Center, which is an aftercare program that is very cool. It's based at Kentucky Horse Park. So Caroline is the Equine Program Director and the Trainer at Secretariat Center. So Caroline, welcome to Retired Racehorse Radio.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited to learn more about this program because I think this is, a pretty unique angle for thoroughbred aftercare. So can you tell us a little bit more about your role at Secretariat Center and then kind of just how the program works?
Yeah. So my role is actually a new position this year. They have never had a program director and trainer that's kind of been dispersed through everybody else's jobs. So obviously as the trainer, I ride the horses and I like to put the first ride on them. I kind of think of myself as the guinea pig, and I don't like to sign anybody else up to be the guinea pig. And I just really like to know what the horses are when we first get them in, then I can really start to evaluate them. So as the program director, my job is to source the horses. And then once we have worked with training them, then I start to source adopters for them. We have a lot of adopters that just send in applications not knowing which horse they are interested in. So I'll reach out to adopters and say, look, based off of your application, this looks like the horse you would probably be interested in. Would you be interested in coming and trying the horse and meeting the horse? And then as my job as program director too, I manage the barn staff. So we've got a farm manager and an assistant farm manager who also do a lot of the riding. So organizing them, organizing volunteers, and working with our executive director on fundraising and different opportunities for grants for the program.
Nice. So that is actually it's interesting that you brought that up because I've always wondered this when people go to adopt horses. Does the average adopter come in being like, I saw this horse on your website, it's beautiful, I want this one? Or do they just wander in hi, horse, please? How does this work?
Yeah, yes and no. So we have a pretty extensive adoption application process. You have to do an application. You have to send in 3 references. So a veterinarian, a personal reference, and then an equine professional. And after that, you'll go through a committee goes through and either approves you or says, we don't think that we have something that will fit you right now, but we'll keep your application on file, and all the applications are good for 3 years. So a lot of people will say, this is my unicorn of a horse, and we'll try to find that for them if we have it in the barn. But a lot of times people will send in an application because they've seen our posts on either the website or social media, and they're interested in a specific horse. And then we've even had people come in like gung-ho on one specific horse, and then as they're walking through the barn, they'll see something else and they want to try that horse as well. So we actually have sent home a few horses this year that the adopters came, and it wasn't the horse that they thought that they wanted, but they went home with a different one.
Nice. Well, and I guess that, that's a good testament to the program that, you guys can find good matches and like help make those good matches. And even if, sometimes the adopter doesn't always know what they want when they come in. So, and that's good because like, for someone like me, I'm like the horses I've sort of like had by chance a little bit, and I'm like, oh, if I was actually intentionally horse shopping, I don't know how I would do that, so sometimes having a professional's eye to be like, maybe you want this over here is actually really helpful. And that's where I think like horse adoption can be a great route for people who are not 100% confident, like what they want or how they want to get there. Like you have so much more of a support system with an adoption group. So yeah, that's good to know. And of course, I think your location is really unique. So you guys are like at the horse park, right?
Yes, we're right across from the trailer parking.
Yeah. So like, okay, so if you come into the park, and I don't know if our average listener like comes in to compete or comes in to go to the park side, but like you go around the circle, you go up, like you can kind of keep wrapping around and then go to the right and you'll get to all the barns and the arenas, or you can go straight and then take this left, like
behind the All Tech Arena.
Yeah. And then like, ta-da, there's Secretariat Center. So I think that location is really cool. So do you get people ever just like wandering in from the park side that are like, what's this?
We do have a sign out front that says by appointment only to kind of deter people from doing that. But obviously we don't want to tell people that they can't come out, but they are young thoroughbreds too. So it is a safety issue to make sure that we know who's coming in and out. Because a lot of times we're hacking them around the farm, we're working with them on our little obstacle course, or we could be long lining them around the farm. So just knowing who's coming in is really important. But this year we did a lot of open houses during horse shows and events. So we would have like a sign up list and everyone could come and take a tour. And that was a really personalized way of showing the farm to people that we started doing this year.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Like I would imagine like something like Land Rover, where you've got thousands of people just wandering in, like, yes, capture that enthusiasm, get some horses in front of them. Like, let's get some thoroughbreds home. That's great.
Yeah. This year, we had a lot of people come through for Pony Club Rally. So, they're there all week and they might be competing in one event. So they've got to fill their time. So we had, moms and dads come through, groups of pony clubbers, and we actually got 5 horses adopted out that week.
That's brilliant.
Just because people were filling their time with adopting horses.
Yeah. And that's exactly the target market, right? Is like kids, good riding kids with a good support system that are ready to step up to something else. Like that's the dream, like the dream audience, right? To adopt horses.
Yeah.
I love that.
And for a young thoroughbred, like that is one that we've been working with and we've restarted, that's the perfect life. You just get doted on and
right.
You get to enjoy your job with your kids. So yeah. And a lot of our horses are like 3, 4, 5. So they could grow with the teenager, and really, really be with them most of their career. So
yeah, that's perfect. So I know like Secretariat Center, I know you guys, you mentioned your position's a new one. I know that there's been some leadership changes. So like what is cool and coming down the pike for 2025? Because you guys really, seem like you're in a bit of a renaissance right now, like getting fired up and doing some cool stuff. So, what's coming up?
Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. We're like really, really excited about 2025. I mean, already 2024, we've like busted through the glass ceiling of Secretariat Center already. So like we're starting a new program there with BCTC, and it's a veterans program. So BCTC has an equine program, and it helps students kind of get their foot in the door in the racing industry. And we have like over 50,000 veterans in Kentucky. And so for them coming out of the military, they either have to go to school or have a job. And what we're going to do is open up like an internship program basically, and they're going to have a pretty strict syllabus of hands-on learning and theory when it comes to horse care. And so working through BCTC, we're going to make sure that they are prepared for their class there. And so when they start at BCTC, the instructors there know that, look, these people have already had 3 weeks of hands-on at the Secretariat Center. So we know that we can go ahead and start and really throw them in the deep end and know that they can swim when it comes to starting a new career in the thoroughbred industry.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because I mean, you hear all the time that it's hard to get good, like skilled help, in the industry. So that's awesome that, that program is going to kind of help springboard some people. That's neat.
Yeah, definitely. And then we're partnering back with Godolphin. We're going to have the Flying Start trainees come in. So we'll have them this year. And we're revamping our internship program. So it used to not be as structured. And so now it's going to be a pretty structured program where we'll feel confident that when they leave the internship program, they'll either really know, I really want to be in the horse industry, or look, I've done a lot of the office work as well, and there's other opportunities other than hands-on with horses. So really just broadening the equine industry to people that don't really want to be veterinarians, or don't want to be trainers, or don't want to do any sort of hands-on stuff their whole lives.
Oh, I love that. That's like my favorite thing to champion, is like how many other careers there are in the horse industry that are not in the barn. Like that's my job is non-barn stuff, but very much in the horse industry. And yeah, it's such a sweet spot for people that still want to make it like their fun passion, but not like work themselves into the ground being a full-time trainer. So right. Yes, always a big fan of that. I love that. So it is our Christmas Day episode. So what's happening at Secretariat Center, like at Christmas? Like who's coming in? Who's doing all the feeding? Like, do you guys get some time off? How does this work?
Yeah, so the cool part about our program, well, the Secretariat Center as a nonprofit, we have the office and the barn, and all of us in the barn are also aspects in the office. So it's really interesting how we run holidays and weekends. So there's always someone there. So, but at the same time, we all still get 2 days off. So we rotate how the weekends work. And then we also rotate holidays. So like I was off for Thanksgiving, and so now I'm on for Christmas. So I'll be there on Christmas taking care of the horses. And then our bookkeeper is also really hands-on with the horses. And so she's probably going to be there to help celebrate Christmas with the horses too.
I love that. Do you have any like Christmas tradition that you'll do, or I guess maybe start, if this is a new position, like anything fun for the horses?
I'm not sure. We found a lot of Christmas decorations though. And so we have 2 mini ponies, Seabiscuit and War Admiral. And they
love that.
They have the best names. And they're really great babysitters. They work really hard for us. Any horse that, is having an issue with turnout, or like right now we only have one filly, so she lives with those guys. They have some really cute Christmas outfits and some Jingle Bells. So I have a feeling that we're going to have some sort of photo shoot with Biscuit and War Admiral.
Oh, I'm very excited about this already. Oh, okay. Yes, please send us photos. Tag Retired Racehorse Radio, and we will. We'll reshare that because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really cute.
Oh, I love that. Well, I think that'll be a very Merry Christmas then for the horses and for you. And, hope you can still enjoy a little bit of downtime. But honestly, I think most of us, given the option, would sneak back into the barn on Christmas anyway. So in some ways, you're all living our dream. So
yeah. I mean, ever since I was little, I always dreamed for a horse on Christmas. So it seems kind of silly not to be in the barn on Christmas.
Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, now you have a whole barn full.
Yeah, now I've got, counting the ponies, now I have 12 of my own,
Oh, perfect. All right. You've done it. You've leveled up. You've lived the horse girl dream.
Yeah.
Well, Caroline, thank you so much for coming on. So if listeners are interested in checking out the horses that you might have available, where can they learn more?
So you could go to our website, which is secretariatcenter.org. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you can find out we do really trendy stuff on TikTok, but all the other social medias are educational and really highlight all of our horses. You can also email info@secretariatcenter.org, and that email gets to everyone in the office. So no matter what you're asking about, someone will get back to you.
Love it. Well, have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and give all those horses, especially the ponies, a big old hug from all of us at Retired Racehorse Radio.
We will. Thank you.
Cashel has been crafting top-notch products since 1986, designed to make your ride safer, more convenient, and downright enjoyable. From the Crusader Fly Mask, the ultimate fly mask, trusted by riders nationwide, to the blanket top performance felt pad with pressed felt with merino fleece. It's like a spa day for your horse's back. To the beautiful beaded halters, adjustable, durable, and gorgeous. Visit CashelCompany.com today and gear up for the ride of a lifetime. Cashel, where quality meets the saddle.
Well, Kristen, it's coming to the end of this year, which means it feels like we say this every year, but it's time to get ready for the next round of RRP Thoroughbred Makeover competitors.
I know, and we have really hit the ground running before the new year at RRP. So we are in application drafting season right now. So this episode comes out December 25th. If you are listening to this on December 25th, you can head over right now to the rrp.org and log in, and you can start to draft your application. And the reason we have a drafting period is because it is a little bit of a process to put that application together. You're submitting essentially like a horseman's resume so that we can get an idea of, your riding background and your training background, and make sure that you are likely to be safe and successful in transitioning a racehorse. So a little bit of a process, but you can get started on drafting now, and then applications open for submission in early January. So watch this space, check back here, head to therrp.org and log in today to get started on your application. We'll see you in 2025. Joy, I've really been enjoying this Track to Triumph series. This was your best idea of 2024, and I'm really excited to carry it into 2025. Who are we hearing from today?
Yeah, so we're hearing from listener Morgan Koenig. Her horse, the jockey club name is Ender's Royal Dance, which, come on, that is such an aristocratic name. I love that. And goes by, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Sodi. But it was just a perfect story, and it's Christmas Day. Okay, we needed a happy story today. So Morgan's story is in 2022, she competed at the Thoroughbred Makeover with my mare Poppin' Tops, also known as Poppy. She was one of the easiest horses to restart and always said yes to everything, including riding trail courses, bridleless, and they ended up second in prelims and second in finals that year. In 2023, they went on to the Tip Champions and won first in Mountain Trail. Unfortunately, she lost a battle with her going through spells of severe ulcers that would cause colic without any reason. And, they did everything they could do. In March of this year, she went into a severe colic episode, which led to surgery where they discovered she had a rare cecum motility issue that was not fixable. Morgan personally knew her racing connections, who told her they had an up-and-coming 4-year-old full brother that was still racing. Over the summer, Morgan kept asking for updates, and one night the trainer texted her at 1 a.m. asking if they wanted him. And of course, she said yes. Since he was in North Dakota, where Morgan lives, she and a friend went to look at him and then picked him up, boarded him for a couple weeks, and then brought him to Kentucky the week of her wedding in August. Oh, how sweet is that? It took some time to put some weight on, get settled, and let his personality come out, but he's one of the coolest horses that she has ever trained so far. She said that she could not have cloned his sister in any better. They are incredibly similar, from always scratching their left knee when you get off to spilling their grain to just being easy horses to work with. And some days, Morgan sheds a couple of tears reflecting on how thankful she is to have him. That is a very, very sweet story. We are loving all of the listener submissions that have come through. If you want your story of your triumph with your horse in, go to our Facebook page. We have a very quick and easy form there where you can submit it. And who knows, maybe you will be featured on a future episode of Retired Racehorse Radio. Thanks, Morgan. Well, it's everyone's favorite time of the episode where we tempt you with new horses and get some lovely training tips from the new Vocations team. And today we're joined by Amanda Tucker, who sits on the thoroughbred side in Lexington. Welcome back to the show, Amanda.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's always great having you, especially holiday season. I'm sure it's been super crazy with the new Vocations adoption special happening right now.
Yeah, they have been flying out the door.
That is a good problem to have, I am sure.
Yes.
I've been following the New Vocations Facebook group. So anyone who's adopted, there is a group for you to join on there. It's fun seeing everyone excited for their arrival times and coordinating their transport. Everyone's getting really excited. Some of them have already had their horses delivered and are sharing their excitement. And I thought that would be an excellent time with all these new horses moving into new homes to talk about the realities of settling in, and how can you balance your excitement to get started with this new horse while also giving them the space to acclimate into a new home?
Yeah, it is so hard because it's so exciting to get one of these guys, especially for Christmas. It's so fun. These guys, everyone's different. So we have war horses that come here and they've been to, 15 different tracks. They've been there, done that. So they'll walk off the trailer and they'll settle right in and take it all in stride. And then we have 2-year-olds leaving that really haven't done much, and they come to their new home and their minds are a little bit blown. So kind of considering what your horse has done is a big thing. How many times have they raced? And where have they been? And what life experience do they have? So we always encourage our adopters to, give them at least 2 weeks to settle in and kind of get their feet before hopping on them. I know that seems like a lifetime when you get your horse and you just want to hop on that day. So just allowing them to figure out their new life. We spending time with them, doing groundwork, or just hanging out in their stalls with them is a great way to be able to interact with your horse, but not putting too much pressure on them. The way to a man's heart as well as a horse's heart is always feeding. So giving them being the one that feeds them is always a great way to, earn their trust and win over their hearts.
That must be why mine like me so much.
I was I feel like
just
a buzz dispenser.
Yeah. They just pick me up and shake me for treats. Yeah.
Yeah, the first training thing you can do with them, a lot of these guys don't know how to eat treats. So when we get new guys in at home, we kind of do treat training and teach them how to take treats and that they're a great, wonderful thing. So, and then you can turn them into little cookie monsters.
That's what everyone really wants, right?
I know.
Ultimately.
It is true though. It was kind of a learning curve for me, as my thoroughbred is very suspicious of me offering her a carrot, and she's like, "What is this?" And then once she got a taste of cookies, she's now thinks they're the most magical thing that ever has, and she'll take just anything. So that's a really good one. I also found just hand walking or letting them out to explore, because they're so young and curious. I mean, obviously within safety and reason as you're getting to know them, but I've always found just taking them for walks and letting them check new things can be a very easy way to start building trust and get a chance to see how they handle if they're more I don't know, intrusive or extrusive, or, are they very curious? Are they very hesitant? Because it gives you some insights of what they're probably going to be under saddle when you start that work.
Exactly. Especially if you're planning on hitting the trails, it would be a great idea to kind of lead them around a little bit and let them get their bearings and kind of figure out, are they going to spook at everything or are they just going to mosey on through?
Absolutely.
It's almost like, not that for the average person, they're not going to seek out this kind of a situation, but like if you have a rehab case that you've adopted that needs to continue rehab, like that's kind of like a built-in like bond session. Like if
Exactly.
you're changing bandages out every day or you're hand walking every day or just like basic tack walking, like sometimes having external limitations put on it is really helpful because then you don't want to like rush right into it and be like, let's see how he canters, if you can't do that. So yeah.
I love
wonder
our
if,
rehab adoptions because they have, that time to really build a connection before they move on to the next step. So it's always super rewarding to see that.
I saw something on Facebook and I'm going to botch this. And like everyone who's seen this meme is going to be like, you said it wrong. But it's something like a shelter dog needs like 3 days to, I don't know, adjust to being out of the shelter, 3 weeks to do something, and then 3 months to really like mesh into your routine. And do you think that kind of applies to horses too? Like the 3 days to do this, 3 months or 3 weeks to do that. And then like it's really a 3-month process before they're like, oh, I live here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming from the track environment to our barn is one transition, and then going from our barn to their new home is another big transition. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, lots of transitions.
I love that. And like another thing to remember too is their life on the track was very routine. They had a set schedule for that, and like everything was very predictable for the most part, right? Like that's the general assumption. So at least in our barn, there is a level of routine. There is also a high level of chaos that's happening. Feeding time, we try to make it the same, but things happen. Like some days you're exercising, some days you're just getting cookies, some days you're getting groomed, some days you get to go in the trailer. Like there's a lot of unpredictability for that horse. And so when they're used to such like a rigid structure, I think there's a level of grace we can offer for our horses as they're adapting to this more flexible lifestyle. That we can easily forget because most of us have been working with sport horses who are used to that flexibility.
Yeah, we always say that you need a lot of patience and a sense of humor to work with these guys. So, and that's absolutely true for ourselves too. Like I'm a fair weather rider. They're used to getting exercised every single day at the track, but if it's snowing sideways, I'm probably not going to hop on. So, that's a big
girl
life change
yeah.
for them.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think those are all great tips and definitely easy things for us to include. And if you are excited to work with your horse, there's some really good old episodes where we talk about kind of ABC foundations and how to start from the ground and work your way up and go a little bit slower. But I think having that grace with your horse, knowing everything is very new to them, they don't have necessarily the same level of excitement that you do, is going to be a helpful way to help set a really good bond. So speaking of horses who are looking to bond with someone, you have a very, very cute chestnut mare we're going to be talking about today.
We do. She's super special. This Conniption Fit has been with us for a little bit of time now, and I am really confused as to why we still have her because she is spectacular.
I will say whoever named her did not set her up for success. that name is very fun, but it is also like anyone who believes in a chestnut mare stereotype is like, well, her name is Conniption Fit, but like that's not fair. But she is lovely. She looks nothing like you would expect a chestnut mare named Conniption Fit to look. Like she looks very sweet. She looks very balanced, like just a nice girl.
Nice, like full body too. Like she looks like she's an easy keeper, which we know thoroughbreds are not notoriously known for that.
Yeah, she is round. She is definitely an easy keeper. She is a redheaded mare, so she is a little sassy, but in a really like fun firecracker kind of way. So we have a lot of fun with this one, and she's come along in her training, and she's just so much fun to ride.
I love
there's a trail video on here too. Yeah, I was just looking at the videos on so I always forget that there's a video tab. So if anyone else is stupid like me and is like just looking at the pictures, there's a second tab at newvocations.org or horseadoption.com where you can actually see the horses go. And so here's Conniption Fit just bopping around your little trail course like a professional.
Oh yeah, she took it all in stride. She thought that was really fun.
She looks so sweet. I love that she's already finding balance under saddle, at least really trying to. She's got a very feminine face, which I love on a mare. It's like perfectly refined and petite. And I think that just like, if you love photos with your horses, if like me, I love doing it. It's nice to have that. Like she perks her ears up very nicely. And she's that beautiful, like metallic chestnut, which I have to say, I'm falling for her, which this is dangerous. This is always a dangerous part of the show for me. But she's looks super cute, and she's mostly a level 2. She does have a level 1 with her horse care. We did talk about how she's an easy keeper, which is nice to have. But level 2 is a really nice spot. We also did an episode of talking through all the levels if you're curious, but there are more details on the website. And we have a couple days left, I think, for the adoption special, right? I mean,
Yes. Yep.
December 23rd. So this comes out on the 25th. So if you're hearing this now, you've missed the adoption special, but that doesn't mean you can't adopt her anyway.
Yes. Well, yeah. If you still want to, then just hit me up and I'll hook you up.
Oh, the Retired Racehorse Radio special. If you've heard it on the show, maybe there's opportunities here. She's a great height, 16 hands, birth year is 2021. So she's a very good age to come in, and she's unraced, which we know a lot of people do look for. So check her out, Conniption Fit, get your applications in. And I think we talked about it one episode, but that's good for 3 years, right?
2 years.
2 years. Okay,
yep.
Perfect. So even if she's not your right fit, it's better to get it in if you know you'll be looking. Check them out, newvocations.org. Amanda, thank you so much. We hope you have a great Christmas and you enjoy all the time with your horses and family.
And you guys too.
You can find our show notes and links to today's guests on the website at horseradionetwork.com. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Retired Racehorse Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Horse Radio. You can find me on Instagram at The Horseback Writer and on Facebook at Jobber Bill, Racehorse to Ranch Horse. My email is kristen@horseradionetwork.com.
You can find me on Instagram at Misfit Mare, and my email is joy@horseradionetwork.com. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Kentucky Performance Products, Cashel Company, and Ride TV, and to our partners, New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program and the Retired Racehorse Project. Don't forget to check out all the other shows on the Horse Radio Network, part of Equine Network, at horseradionetwork.com. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, as it really helps us grow. Remember to set your goals high and love to learn from every ride
and cowside leg.
Merry Christmas. Bye, guys.